Dun 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 dun. All right. So we're gonna start out on the 5-minute chart, obviously. See what's going on, what that range is like. We're currently just pretty much at view op, so gotta be careful at view op. Big wick on the 5-minute chart. Huge wick on the 5-minute chart, so pretty bearish right now. Sorry. As of right now, pretty bearish. I'm gonna wait for this 5-minute range to form. And yeah, see what we get from there. News wise, I think I checked yesterday. We had news today, right? We had news at 10 a.m. Hold on. Forex. All right, so we have PMI at 10 o'clock. Some kind of FOMC member speaking at 9:35. 9:45 PMI, but that's a yellow folder. 10 a.m. is a red folder, so gotta be careful for that 10 a.m. one. Gotta be careful for that 10 a.m. one, so. Alright. What else? What else? Most of them got canceled. Did they? Because mine shows that it's still good. That it's still for 10 a.m. Because yesterday, it said, I forgot the word it said. But yesterday, it didn't show a time. It showed that, like, they don't know when it's going to come. Forgot what the term was. What was the term that see if I can go into history. Nah. We'll see. Regardless, I mean, I'm going to be careful for that. Obviously, if I get a setup, like I did last time, if I get a setup, I'm taking it, you know. And I just manage my risk, but dun. All right, we have what? Oh crap! It's already formed. The 5-minute candles just opened up a new 5-minute candle. So, all right, let's mark it out. All right, there's that 5-minute range. Currently in the middle of that 5-minute range, so we don't really know. We got pivot points to both sides, right? We got a pivot point up here, and then we got another pivot point down there, so. Okay, there's that range. Kind of sucks that view op is right in the middle of that 5-minute range. But play it by ear. Seeing which side does it close. Is it gonna close above the high of the 5-minute range or the low? That'll tell you a decent amount of what kind of can happen. Hopefully, I mean, we may go sideways till 9:40, till, you know, 10 a.m., 9:45, if there is news coming out. I mean, as long as it's in this 5-minute range, gotta sit on your hands. Dun, dun, dun. Let's push it, push it. I'm telling y'all, it's like clockwork where people call me as soon as I go live. It's so weird. Alright. Still in this 5 minute. Alright, we're starting to potentially starting to get closures above this 5 minute range. There is some resistance up here. If you look on the 15-minute time frame. Pulling it up. Right, you could kind of see that there's a lot of resistance. A little bit, there's a tiny imbalance right there. Right, you got a small imbalance right there, and then you got all this resistance. This previous support turned into resistance. So there is resistance right above that 5 minute range. So we'll see. But that is all-time highs at the same time. So that's also something else you got to be mindful of. Be careful, it's Friday. Don't do anything stupid for the weekend. Be patient. Wait for the trade setups to come to you. If you miss it, it's fine. But one thing you don't want to do is go into your weekend on a bad note because you couldn't control yourself. Alright, let's see this. Is it going to close above? Is it gonna close above? Man, I don't like that it's at view up. That really like. Ugh. Failing to close above that 5 minute range so far. Going back down. Fasten your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts. Whoa! Holy crap! What the? What just happened? No way that Fed chair speaker did that. Mirian. I highly doubt that was a Fed chair speaker. There's no way he did that. That is wild. That's why you should have your stop losses in place. Stuff like that could happen. What did I say? That was freaking wild, dude. What did you say? I don't think it was the Fed speaker. I mean, I highly doubt that Fed speaker would say something to cause the market to go crazy. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think they're gonna say something that we don't already know. This could have been just price action. Yeah, exactly. This is what happens when people. This is what makes people start to cry. Is when somebody probably could have had their stop loss, canceled it, and if like at this point this massive candle is such a huge red flag. I mean, could it go back up? Yes, but and especially the people with tight stops. Somebody with a tight stop just got freaking. Not only did they just get, they got slipped like crazy probably, right? Because even if you like, say somebody had their stop right below this low, All that slippage. That was a matter of seconds. It was already all the way down here. So they could have got slipped all the way down here by the time they got filled in that position. That's why I don't like to have tight stops, because this kind of volatility can happen. And if you have super tight stops, the tighter your stop, you'll get slipped like crazy on a move like that. So your stop was probably below these lows or something. Did you get slipped? I'm just curious how bad you got slipped if you... Do you do anything based on the 7 a.m. candle? No. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Slippage is... I hate that. I once got slipped on a break-even trade. Like, some of my accounts, and I guess that's a downside of copy trader. Like, some of my accounts got slipped at break-even, or didn't get slipped and they were just break-even. The other accounts got slipped $100. Like, that's crazy. Alright, we're still failing to close. I mean, we're still failing to close. We pushed up here, failed to close above that 5 minute, pushed down, failed to close below that 5 minutes. So now we're, I mean, there's nothing to do for me as long as we stay in this range. Once we get out of the range, then I play it by ear, right? So if it gets out of the range and then pushes aggressively back into the range, but it has to close outside the range for me, and then confirm that we're stepping back into the range, then that's a confirmation for me, paired with a bullish imbalance. But as long as we stay in this range without closing outside, there's nothing to do. The middle pivot point? I don't see a pivot point in the middle. I just see these two pivot points, the R1 up here, and then we have another pivot down there. It went back to the bottom of that range. That 5 minute range. What the? What's going on? What the heck's wrong with my... My chart froze. Am I tripping? Why did my chart freeze? Bro, I need to get a new computer, dude. Oh my god. Never does this. What the hell happened? Alright, I need to restart. Freaking A. Ugh. Oh my god. Hold on, give me a second. I'm restarting the brokerage. I don't know why my chart froze. Or I wish TikTok would allow me to use Apple for live streaming. This would make things so, like, 10 times better. Maybe if, maybe once TikTok gets bought out, they would do it. I would be so freaking happy if they did that. Chinese oh shoot, I'm typing in on the wrong keyboard. Man, if I miss a trade because of this BS, I'm gonna be pissed. Tell you a decent amount of what. It's my computer. It's not the brokerage. My laptop has a hard time handling what I'm running on it. So that's why it's a little. I used the third party, but TikTok didn't like that for some reason. They ended up banning me, like, from using a third party, which makes absolutely zero sense. Why can't I use a third party? They want me to use their platform instead of doing it through a third party using an Apple computer. Is what it is. Gotta live with it. All right, it's loading back up. We're just focused on training and don't go live. Well, I am focused on it even when I do go live.
As soon as I go live, it's so weird.
I am focused on it when I do go live, but what third party? It was, let me see if I have it bookmarked. What was it called?
Essentially starting to get closures above this 5-minute range.
Man, I forgot.
There's some resistance up here. If you look on the 15-minute time frame.
I forgot. It was. Bro, now it's not.
Right, you can kind of see that there's a lot of resistance.
We're still in that range. I'm seeing on my. There it is.
Right there.
I forgot what it was called, but it was pretty much, it connected to your TikTok. I was able to show the desktop. I was able to show everything. It was perfect. And yeah, I went live with it for like less than a week, and I tried to go live, and I'm banned from it. So that's why I had to grab my laptop, and now I have to use my laptop as even though I have a really good computer.
That's also something else you gotta be mindful of.
I was in longs before that massive drop. Oh damn,
It's Friday.
that sucks. Hopefully you had
Stupid for the weekend.
a stop. I mean, it depends where you had your stop. See, this is exactly why. This is exactly why.
It's fine.
Well, let me make sure my copy trader
But one
is
thing
all
you
good.
don't want to do is go into your weekend on a bad note because you couldn't control yourself.
It's like extra. It usually doesn't do that. That's what. Hold on, my Apex, my
See this? Is it gonna close
take
above?
profit aren't connected. All right.
Is it gonna close above? Man, I don't like that it's at full. That really like.
All right. I think we're good now. All those are connected. Take profits connected. All right, we're good. Nice. We're still in that range.
Failing to close
This is why it's important. This is why I tell people, right? It's important to position size correctly, to have your stops at areas that make sense, right? That move was the difference between somebody getting stopped out because, you know, they were too heavily sized in, they had a tight stop, and the difference between somebody who had their stop at the lows, right, did not get stopped out. He was sized in correctly. Maybe those two people were risking the same amount of money. They're risking the same amount of money, but one person got stopped out, one person is still in the trade.
That Fed chair speaker.
Right? So it's like, that's why I like to have my stops at specific areas of invalidation and then size according to where that area is, right? So if it's a wider area, I'll size down contracts to, you know, to accommodate for that.
That is wild. That's why you should have your stop
But like,
losses in place.
I think you gotta allow price to be volatile. I mean, Nasdaq's volatile, so you gotta allow normal price action to be able to develop to get to the level you think it's gonna go to.
That was freaking wild, dude.
But I guess there are scalpers and this and that. I mean, that's my mindset of it. I don't know what happened. Just randomly dropped. Nothing on bookmap either. I think that was just normal. I mean,
highly doubt that Fed
it's
speaker
weird.
would
I don't
say
know.
something to cause the
We
market.
do have a Fed speaker speaking at 9:35, but like I said, I highly doubt that Fed speaker did that. I mean, I don't think a Fed speaker would. Not really an important Fed speaker, at least. It's not Jerome Powell. All right, we're about to close out of this range, I think.
Yeah, This is what happens when people. This is what makes
Yeah.
people.
No, that's not a 930. That was a.
Somebody probably
That was like
could have had their
942
stop
candle.
loss canceled.
That candle just took out like.
And if, like,
What?
at this
1,
point,
2,
this
3,
massive
4,
candle is
5,
such a
6,
huge
7,
red
8,
flag.
9. Almost
Could it go
10.
back up, yes, but
Even more, actually.
and especially the people with tight.
That
stops.
one candle took out like 30
Somebody
minutes
with
of
a
price
tight
action.
Stop just got freaking. Not only did they just get
15?
they
No,
got
5
stopped
minute.
like crazy, probably, right?
This is a
Even
5
if,
minute
like,
orb
say somebody
set.
had their stop right below this low.
But it's not an orb because it's. I'm not looking for a
all that
breakout.
slippage. That was a
I
matter of
actually look
seconds,
for
it
the
was already
opposite
all
of
the
what
way down
everyone
here.
else
They
looks
coulda
for.
got slipped all the way down
People
here.
look for breakouts. I look for a closure, like a breakout, but then it drops back inside the range,
why I don't like
leaving
that.
behind a
That's why I
bearish
don't like
gap,
to have
and then
tight
that's my
stops,
cue to
because
go
this kind of
to the
volatility
opposite side of the
can
move.
And if you have super tight
God, this
stops,
thing is having such a
tighter
hard.
your stop, you'll get slipped like.
This
crazy
thing may
on
be,
it.
like I said, it may be going sideways for news. We got news in like 6 minutes, so
Your stop was probably below these lows.
I wouldn't doubt it going sideways for news.
Did you get slipped? I'm just curious how bad you got slipped. If you
What do you think about? I'm not sure. I just look at Nasdaq every day. I don't look at individual stocks or anything.
do you do anything based on the 7 a.m. today?
Got liquidated?
No.
You got liquidated?
Oh, that sucks.
No news? Is there really no news?
Sucks. Slipped.
Yeah, I know it's government shutdown, but it shows. Yesterday it was showing that there may not be news.
I once got slipped on a break.
But today is actually showing that there is news. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Like some of my accounts
I guess
got
we'll see.
slipped at break even.
Regardless, I'm still careful. Forex Factory shows that there is 10 a.m. news. It shows 10 a.m. red folder news. Oh, wait. Yeah, look, U.S. government data may be impacted by the shutdown. Tentative events are subject to delay, revision, or cancellation. That was the word, tentative. Today, there's nothing that says tentative. That's why I'm assuming there is news.
There's nothing to do for me as long as we stay
Yeah.
in the range. Once we get out
We'll
of the
see.
range,
I mean,
then I play it by ear, right? So
we'll see.
if it
We
gets
got
out of the range
5 minutes
and
left.
pushes
This thing is
aggressively back
just.
into the range, but it
I hope I don't get a
has
setup
to
right
be
before news.
and then confirm
For
that
some
it's
reason,
effective.
this strategy,
That's a confirmation for me. With a bullish
I get a lot of setups before news for some reason. I mean, it ends up usually working out pretty well, but I think one time so far, I got into a trade before news. It stopped me out and ran to my TP. That was one time out of a decent amount of times I've took a trade right before news. That's the thing. It's like if the trade setup's there, I'm gonna take it. If news is there, typically. So the theory is this, right? News events can typically, like, if you could see price wants to go to a certain area, typically news events propels it to that area. So you'll have a news event and news will push it to that area. But that's why I'm not really like, but you do have that volatility in between and then it goes. Full porting 5 cons on top step even. Oh, that's crazy.
What the heck's wrong with my...
I mean, if you have some people full port but are patient for their strategy. I mean, that is a doable strategy, right? If you're confident in your strategy and you're patient for a good setup and you full port that setup to pass the account, I mean, why not? If you're confident and you know what you're doing and
Why do my chart
news is gonna
freeze?
take out Asia lows. Oh, I mean, possibly. I mean, we still got a decent ways for Asia lows. Oh, full porting news. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Full porting news is crazier than like,
Never
I don't know.
What the hell happened?
You gotta be sized in correctly so that little volatility does not liquidate you out of your like, so you don't blow your account. Oh, I just realized we closed out of the range.
Hold on, give me a second.
I didn't even realize that. All right, we're out of that range. So at this point, if price starts pushing back into the range, gives me a setup to take, I'll take it. But as of now, we're still. We may take out these lows right here.
Live streaming. This would would make things
2 minutes.
like 10 times better. Maybe if
Did we take it out? Yeah, we took out the lows. Barely we took out these lows. So
maybe once
those
TikTok
are
was bought out, they would do it. I would be so freaking happy.
we took out these lows. We got a pivot point right there, so that could be a bounce area. I got to be mindful of view op, man. I hate that view op is right there. That's the one thing that kind of view op is right where that gold line is. So you trading tick bars or what time? No, this is a 1 minute time frame.
Brokerage. My laptop.
This is the 5 minute range,
what I'm running on.
and then I'm on a 1 minute time frame to kind of get entries.
I used the third party, but TikTok didn't like that for some reason.
Pretty big wicks to the downside on the 15 minute time frame.
Like from using a third party, which makes absolutely zero sense. Why can't I use a third party? They want me to use their platform instead of doing it through a third party using an Apple computer.
Think it's going for Asia lows? I mean, I'm fine with it going either way. I mean, it's like
It's loading back up.
if it gives me a setup, I'll take it. I mean, there's a possibility it could squeeze back up. I mean, it's.
I am focused on it even when I do go live. I am focused.
There's
on it when I do
news.
go live.
There's news. There's news. There's news. All right, give me a second. Hold on. Somebody's here.
Let me see if I have it bookmarked. What was it called? Man, I forgot. There's some resistance in here. 15-minute time frame. I forgot. It was. Bro, now it's not. Right, you kind of see that there's a lot of resistance. We're still in that range. I'm seeing on my there. It's I forgot what it was called, but it was pretty much it connected to your TikTok. I was able to show the desktop. I was able to show everything. It was perfect.
All right.
And yeah, I went live with it for like less than a week, and I tried to go live.
Damn, it looks like you're
I'm banned from.
maybe you're right.
So that's why I had to grab my laptop, and now I have to use my laptop as it, even though I have a really good computer.
You passed it? Nice. Now don't go crazy on the funded. Just take it easy.
I was in longs before that massive drop. Oh damn, that sucks. Hopefully you had a stop. I mean, it depends where you had your stop. See, this is exactly why. This is exactly why. Well, let me make sure my copy trader is all good. It's like extra.
Oh, well, dang, I didn't even know. We're already at Asia lows. I thought you just. Wow. So we took out Asia lows. Man.
Alright. I think we're good now. All those are connected.
Really?
If it's connected. Alright, we're good. Nice. We're still in that range. This is why it's important. This is why I tell people, right? It's important to position size correctly, to have your stops at areas that make sense, right? That
This thing
was
really
the
not gonna.
difference between somebody getting stopped out because
This is the
heavily sized in, they had
if
a
price is
stop,
gonna reverse,
and
this
the
is where it's gonna
difference
do it
between
at.
somebody who had their stop at
If
the
it doesn't
lower
reverse here,
right, did not get stopped out. Sized in correctly. Maybe
yeah,
those two people
we're
were
pretty
risking
much.
the same amount of money.
It's not looking good.
Risking the same amount of money, but one person got stopped out, one person is still in the trade. Right? So it's like that's why I like to have my stops at
Yeah, we'll see. It's got if it's gonna reverse, it's gonna reverse here.
And then size according to where that area is, right? So if it's a
Not to say it can't go lower in reverse,
size
but
down contracts to
this is a common area for price to reverse. Yeah, we got that 10 a.m. taking out Asia lows.
But like, I think you gotta allow price
And,
to be volatile. I mean, Nasdaq's volatile.
So far, it's having
You gotta
trouble.
allow normal price price action to be able to develop to get to the level you think it's gonna go to. But I guess there are scalpers and this and that. I mean, that's my mindset of it. I don't know what happened. Just randomly dropped nothing.
Trying to get some momentum to try to come back in.
I mean, it's weird. I don't know.
Watch this thing just shoot up from here. It'd be hilarious.
But like I said,
Will the government shutdown affect the market? I mean, it may affect it, but
not really an important Fed speaker.
In what way will it affect it?
All right, we're about to close out.
So far, it's been pretty good. So far, price action has been pretty good with the shutdown.
Yeah. No, that's not a 930. That was like 942 candle. That candle just took out like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm gonna be, for those of you who know,
10.
I am going to be,
That one candle took out like 30 minutes of price action.
I'm gonna be entering into that competition. Patrick's, for those of you who know who Patrick is,
5-minute orb.
he's doing a trading competition.
But it's not an orb.
And
I'm not looking for a breakout.
yeah, so next week I'm gonna be trading that account for the trading competition. First place gets $10,000.
Closure, like a breakout,
I'm gonna be going. I'm doing it.
Back inside the range, leaving the
Yeah.
bearish gap, and then that's my.
I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be fun.
God, this thing is having such a
BDH. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So, but here's my plan, right? Here's my plan. I'm gonna stick to my strategy, right? This strategy that I've been doing. So the plan is to stick with it, but I'm gonna size heavy. So you're allowed one reset for the competition. So you get one reset. So I'm planning to, because obviously my strategy, sometimes I get days where I don't take a trade, right? So like I don't get a setup some days with this strategy. So when I do get a setup, I'm gonna size in super heavy. Like pretty much full size. Like that one trade better be a winner or else it blows the account. But I kind of have to size in heavy because I don't necessarily get a trade set up every day for that strategy. So if I'm patient for the good setups and I size in pretty heavy and I can get like 2 good trades in a week, that'll be a $10,000 week. Even if I only get 1 trade, it'll be a $5,000 week. So that's my plan. That's kind of the only thing I can do with that strategy. 5 weeks, I mean, 1 week is really not enough to really see if someone's a good trader or not, or like, you know. But
we got 5 minutes left.
How do you get in the competition?
I hope I don't get a
you go to
for some reason
Legends Trade. I think it's Legends Trading, and you sign up there, and then you have to put in his code. You have to make an account with Legends Trading, and then you'll see the competition. You'll see a link there where it says like competition or whatever, and you have to put in the code BDH in the code. It says it's $100, but you put in the code and it drops it to $39. So it's a $39 account. You get 1 reset, $5,000 of drawdown, and it's an end of day drawdown. It's not a trailing drawdown. And then it's 1 week long, from the 6th to the 10th for next week. And first place gets $10,000, second place gets $5,000, third place gets like $2,500, and then he's going to be giving out some free accounts for like the first 25 people on the list. You get something, whether it's money or a free account. But it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. So these accounts I'm gonna put on hold for next week, and I'm just gonna be patient, and I'm gonna be sizing pretty aggressively on those accounts.
That is a doable strategy, right? If you're confident in your
That's the strat. That's the strat.
patient for a good setup.
I'm telling you, if I can get a good week like I've had, where I can get at least 2 good trades, I'm looking pretty good for a $10,000 week. But
I mean, we still got a decent.
But here's the thing. I don't know about other people how they trade. Some people may have like a strategy where they leave a runner on, and if they catch a good, depending on how market moves next week, right? That'll depend on everything. Even the traders that hold runners and hold long term and stuff like that and can get big moves. If the market doesn't give a big move, there's no big moves, they can't.
You gotta be sized in correctly so that that little volatility does not liquidate you
But
out of your like.
what are we watching? Futures trading.
So you don't blow your account. Oh, I just realized we closed out of the range.
All right, at this point, I'm gonna be hopping onto my other accounts, the scalping accounts probably. I'm not gonna get a setup with this strategy on these accounts, right? At this point, even if it pushes back up, that risk to reward for that high is not worth it. So I'm gonna hop into my other accounts, my scalping accounts.
Did we take it out?
Yeah, he's trading in it too.
Barely, we took out.
Yeah, he is.
So those are.
There's some influencers trading in it, so it'll be I think it'll be fun. And then also the person first place, I think the first top 5 people they end up going to him to the BDH. So you pretty much go trade with him. So we'll see.
It's a 1 minute time frame.
I just think it'll be fun. I want that $10,000, so
1 minute time frame to kind of.
may the best person win. But that's the same time. You can win and not be like a good trader at all. Like if it was a competition, at least I feel like it has to be at least for a month to really gauge how good someone is at trading and how disciplined they are. Like a week's worth of trading, a good trader may have like one trade per week because they're so patient for a good setup, right? So it's like, but it's you know, it's just for fun. It's not nothing like serious or.
I'm fine with it going.
It is serious in the sense of you can win $10,000, but.
If it gives me a setup, I'll take it.
Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Hold on.
There's a possibility
I'm gonna.
squeeze back up. I mean, it's.
Where's my copy trader? All right, let me switch real quick.
There's news. There's news. All right, give me a second.
If the okay, exit out of those accounts, and then I get this. PA1. All right, these are my scalping accounts, so. All right, let's see what happens. We haven't tapped into this gap right here, so that'd be pretty interesting to see if we could tap into this gap and potentially start to kind of maybe move lower.
Maybe you're right.
It's not getting I want at least a little bit of an uptrend to short again. But at this point, I don't think we're getting the move up. I think it's just going to be a downtrend day. I think we're just going to stay below this 5-minute range. We're going to kind of push up to it and keep trending below this 5-minute range.
Take it easy.
So, did you use the SMT? No, I didn't use it. I don't use SMT. Maybe I should do that too. Have different accounts yeah, I do. I really recommend that. That's something I really recommend. Have accounts for different strategies, and that prevents you from like over trading. And if you want to just have some fun with trading and just kind of scalp and test out different strategies, have another account for that. But don't mix up strategies with something you've already kind of proven. Like for the other account, right? I have a specific strategy, right? Now, if I start scalping and using that strategy is a pretty good strategy. So if I'm just patient with that strategy, you can make money long term. But if I start mixing it, I start losing that money, and it just becomes very messy. So if I have 2 groups of accounts and I don't see a strategy, I'm not going to get a strategy for this setup. Boom, I switch to my other accounts that I scalp with and continue trading. But it's a good idea. I don't recommend trading a bunch of different strategies on one account.
Pretty much.
All right, we're starting to get a push up. We swept those lows. Let's see. Oh, it's not what? It's not accessible in Canada. He said that.
If it's gonna reverse, it's gonna reverse here.
That's weird.
Not the same.
Yeah, we had news at 10. I mean, it was pretty. It did come out. You can see that red candle right there.
We got that 10 a.m. taken out.
We got some volatility. Man, that sucks.
So far, it's having
I
trouble.
wonder why it's not available in Canada. Man, yeah, I don't know what you could do. That sucks. I don't know why it's not.
Trying to get some momentum to try to come back in. Watch this thing just shoot up from here.
Let me take a short here.
Government shutdown affect the market. I mean, it may affect it, but in what way will it affect it? So far, it's been pretty good. So far,
It's not even giving a like a little bit of an uptrend, so I can.
I'm gonna be, for those of you who know, I am going to be I'm gonna be entering into that competition. For those of you who know
All right.
Patrick is,
Let's see.
he's doing a trading competition, and yeah. So next week I'm gonna be trading those that account for the trading competition. First place gets $10,000. I'm gonna be going. I'm doing it. Yeah. I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be fun.
Don't copy me. These are just fun accounts. This is not like a serious. Please don't. I'm kind of like just having some fun with scalping this.
Here's my plan, right?
So
Here's my plan.
it's not necessarily like a specific strategy that I use, like ABC. Kind of just going off
Plan
of
is to stick with it, but I'm gonna size
a lot of
like,
selling
I'm gonna
pressure.
size
So
heavy.
trying to see if we can.
So you're allowed one reset for the competition. So you get one reset. So I'm planning to, because obviously my strategy, sometimes I get days where I don't take a trade, right? So like I don't get a setup some days with this strategy. So when I do get a setup, I'm gonna size in super heavy. Like pretty much full size. Like that one trade better be a winner or else it blows the account. I kind of have to
Quick
size in
scalp,
heavy
quick
because
scalp.
I don't necessarily get a trade setup every day for that.
Just
strategy.
trying to see if I can
So,
predict
if
these
I'm
moves.
patient
Stop would
for the
be.
good setups, and I size in pretty heavy, and I can get like 2 good trades in a week. That'll be a $10,000 week.
Crap.
Even if I only get one trade, it'll be a $5,000 week. So that's my plan. That's kind of the only thing I can do with that strategy. 5 weeks. I mean, 1 week is really not enough to really see if someone's a good trader or not, or like, you know. But how do you get in the competition? You go to Legends Trade. I think it's Legends Trading, and you sign up there, and then you have to.
I gotta get these.
Put in his code. You have to make an account with Legends Trading, and then you'll see the competition. You'll see the link there where it says like competition or whatever, and you have to put in the code BDH in the code. It says it's $100, but you put in the code and it drops it to $39. So it's a $39 account. You get one reset, $5,000 of drawdown, and it's an end of day drawdown. It's not a trailing drawdown.
Damn it.
And then it's
Oh
1
my
week long,
God.
from the 6th to the 10th for next week. And first place gets $10,000. Second place gets $5,000. Third place gets like $2,500, and then he's going to be giving out some free accounts for like the first 25 people on the list. You get
All right.
something. Whether it's money
Super
or
quick
a
scalp.
account.
I need to get these accounts out of the drawdown it is.
I think it'll be fun.
These accounts I've had for a while.
So these accounts I'm gonna put on hold for next week.
I've had these accounts for a while. I got kind of screwed up with these accounts with tariff news. I went insane in tariff. It went into some drawdown. So now I got to be careful. Get myself out of drawdown. So I'm going to be quickly scalping these accounts.
Good week, like I've had, where I can get at least 2 good trades.
I don't know if I should... just high probability scalps is pretty much what I'm going for until... And the plan is, once I get myself out of the drawdown, right, I'm going to start scaling up and scaling up and scale. The more drawdown I get myself out of, the more I scale up. And so I could quickly get back to that. But I'm gonna be careful because this is a lot of accounts.
It can get big moves. If the market doesn't give a big move, there's no big moves.
So initially I was using these accounts a long time ago. So I've had these accounts probably like a super long time. I was using these accounts a long time ago with a different strategy that wasn't working too well for me, that other strategy.
At this point,
And so got myself into some drawdown. Now I'm trying to really scalp my way out of it.
I'm not gonna get a setup with this strategy on these accounts, right? At this point, even if
I'm not using that other strategy again.
that high is not worth
That's like a perfect example. One strategy could work amazing for someone, and then I try it out, and then it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, he's trading in it too.
But
Yeah, he is.
I guess I should have shorted all the way to the lows.
Some influencers trading in it.
Damn.
So it'll be I think it'll be fun. And then also the person first place, I think the first top 5 people they end up going to him to the PDH. So you pretty much go trade with him. So we'll see. I just think it'll be fun. I want that $10,000. So
Well, let me.
may the best person win. But that's the same time you can win and not be like a good trader at all. Like, if it was a competition, at least I feel like it has to be at least for a month to really gauge how good someone is at trading and how disciplined they are. Like a week's worth of trading, a good trader may have like one trade per week because they're so patient.
15-minute orb has
right?
kicked my
So it's
ass
like-
this week.
But it's you know, it's just for
What?
fun.
It didn't work out?
It is serious in the sense that you win $10,000.
Seems like, I mean, we've had days where it just like sell off or. What was the 15-minute today? Let me see.
I'm gonna. Where's my copy trader?
See, like, you gotta be. The one thing is. Where's that 9:45? I think my clock's off a little bit on this chart.
Let me switch real quick.
All right, it's this candle right here.
Those accounts.
So it depends. How are you? It depends. Yeah, like with the 15-minute orb, there's so much you could do. Like people scalp it, people wait for a pullback, people take the breakout, and then depending on how much RR you go to, like how much risk to reward you're having. Do you have your stop above the highs? Then you kind of need more. You know, if you have your stop kind of in the middle of the range, then like there's so much. But look for do this right. If it really didn't work this week, try to go back on your trades that you took and see what you could have done. Possibly like, what could I have done in order for that trade may have not been a losing trade? Could I have put my stop at a different area? Could I have risked the different amount? Could I have try to figure out what you could have done better to prevent you maybe even from not taking the trade. Maybe you say all right, we have see this 200. We have a pivot point. We have a lot of support down in this area. Maybe I shouldn't take this orb. What are there any red flags that told you to stay out of it or, to adjust your risk differently? There's so much things you could do, but if you could figure something out that you could prevent from happening next time that saves you money, that's still even though you lost money, that's a W in my book. If you can learn from that and take something away, because that something that you learn can save you potentially thousands of dollars in the long run. That's how you have to think about it, right?
I really recommend that. That's something I really recommend. Have accounts for different strategies.
What strategy? I'm talking. Somebody, Billy, talking about the 15-minute orb and how he got wrecked this week using it. And I'm just saying, like, if you have a bad week, you know, try to adjust what you can, learn from something. Try to find something you can take away from that bad week. And that bad week doesn't become a bad week, because if you could take something away from that, that's a learning experience. It's not really a bad week, because it could save you money, a lot of money in the long term.
That strategy is a pretty good strategy. So if I'm just patient with that strategy, you can make money long term.
But I'm somebody, right? Here's my in terms of like risk management, right? Here's my risk management protocol, and I don't think anybody else has. I don't think anybody really does it the way I do it, and I think my way's the best. All right.
But it's a good idea.
So,
I don't recommend trading a bunch
for
of
my risk management,
on one account.
what I do is you have a strategy, right? So you have a specific strategy you use. And let's just say you've been trading this strategy for, say, let's hypothetically say 4 months, right? You've been trading this strategy for 4 months. Based on your data, you will know how many losing trades you typically take in a row, right? Depending on your RR, depending on how your risk management, you know how many trades typically, right? So like, for example, for my strategy, I very rarely will take, like, I don't really take more than 2 losses in a row. Like, it could happen, but more than 2 doesn't happen really. So based on my data, that's what I know. So I size accordingly. Right? And then for hypothetically, if a week comes along where I take a loss, I take a second loss, and now I took a third loss, well, now my data is beginning to change. Now I took 3 losses. That's different from what the data I had previously. So now I need to size down, half size, make that money back, size down, and then adjust my risk based on the new data that I got. So you're constantly, if your data starts to change, you size down, you get out of that drawdown. Once you get back up a little bit, and you can kind of size back up, you change your risk management according to that new data. So now you allow yourself for more drawdown. So you kind of always paying attention to your data, to what's changing, how many losses are you taking, you know, and kind of adjusting, constantly adjusting, because that adjustment is what protects you. And that's why I think I could be sized in more than other people. Like, you know, some people say, like, if you take an average and like an average trader, like, oh, you risk 10% of your account hypothetically, right? Or you risk such a huge portion of your account. 10% is a big portion to risk. But are you really risking 10% if you're going off data, allowing yourself, for example, I know I don't take more than 2 losing trades. If I take a third losing trade, I size half down, and then now I'm half sized until I make that money back, and then I'll size back up with the new data. So not really me risking, although I could be risking like 10% per trade. I'm not really risking that much because I do end up sizing down. So that's how I do risk management. I think it's a great way because, for me at least, right? I don't know, for you it may not be a good way. For me it's good because I can size up. I can be a little more heavier on the risk. But then, if my data starts to change, I size down. So really, I'm allowing myself a decent amount of losing days before, you know, I would blow an account. But typically, like, for these funded accounts, or these, like, for these accounts, prop firm accounts, I like to allow myself like 6 losing days before I blow my account, right? That's like a sweet spot where, for me, where it's like, I don't really take more than 2-3 losing days, but I allow myself 6. So you can see, like, that's why I can hold an account. That's why I've never blown any funded accounts. I may be like one of the few traders out there who has never blown a funded account, is because my risk management is on point. If I have to size down, I size down until I make back, till I get out of that drawdown, and then once I go on a winning streak, I can start sizing up more and more aggressively based on the drawdown I allow myself. So, screenshot and look at last tax info. What does that mean? Or are you talking to someone else? Still got cooked today. Still ended up the week green. just upset about today. Yeah, just don't, like, you want to go into the weekend on a good note. Just always understand Monday's going to come along. Next week's going to come along. There's no reason to go until, like, you have to make the money today or else. Look at trading as a long-term game. It's not about you making money today. It's about you closing the month green, right? Or you closing the year green. But if you're constantly focused on, that's why I don't think you should have a goal of like, I have to make $400 today or I have to make $200 a day. Take that goal out. Like, you take the setups you can take. If it gives you a setup, you take it. But don't overtrade. Don't get emotional. Don't get like, you know, there's always another day. There's always, but one thing that will screw you up is if you go on tilt and blow your account. That's what will screw you up. And then you'll end up going to the weekend pissed off because you've blown an account. Like,
I've had these accounts for a while. I got kind of screwed up.
How's NASDAQ doing? We had a good move out of this 5-minute range, and now we're kind of just trending sideways. I took this short from this bearish gap right here. Took a very quick scalp, but I could have even took way more, but I was just being cautious.
Pretty much what I'm going for until, and the plan is once I get myself out of the drawdown.
So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing with these accounts, right? So my first set of accounts, I'm going to be doing the 5-minute range, breaks out of the 5-minute range. If it closes back inside, leaving behind a bullish imbalance, I target the next high. The next internal, external high, whatever it is, right? The next highest probability, typically a 1-to-1. That's for my other accounts that I'm doing. So I need 4 more trades to pass those accounts. These accounts, I'm going to be scalping when price breaks out of the 5-minute range and it starts doing this. When it starts trending outside of the 5-minute range, that kind of gives me a sign that we're pretty bearish, right? We're going to pretty much trending outside the range until it goes back in that range. But a lot of times, if you look back, when it breaks out of the 5-minute range and starts doing this, like kind of chopping below that range, typically we get chopped below the range for a while. So what I can do is I can pay attention to these kind of bearish imbalances because price is bearish. So I can take scalps off those bearish imbalances, you know, for high probability scalps. So either way, right? And I put myself in a mindset. I don't give a crap what price does. I react to price. Price could have shot up. Price could have been way up here and I would have did the same thing, similar to what I was doing down here, but I would just been, you know, buying longs instead of buying shorts. So instead of me trying to guess and, oh, price is bearish all pre-market, it's going to be, you know, bearish today, I'm just going to go long every time, every pullback, I'm going to try to go long. I react to price. Whatever price shows that it wants to do, that's what I, you know, closing outside the 5-minute range, trending below it, seems pretty bearish to me. Until we get back inside the 5-minute range, now it becomes a little iffy. Now it's like, you got to be careful. But as long as we stay below this 5-minute range, I think we're pretty good for shorts.
15-minute orbits kicked my head.
And we're below view op. And we're below that pivot point. Like, there's so much bearishness right here.
It seems like, I mean, we've had days where it just like sell off. What was the 15-minute today?
Is NASDAQ really moving that differently than ES? I could pull ES up. Hold on.
So like, you gotta be, one thing is...
But...
I think my clock's off.
Do we have bullish or bearish gap currently? Well, we had a little bit of a bearish gap right... I took an entry off this tiny bearish gap right there.
This candle right here.
Right, I took a short. We have some bearish gaps to the upside, but you know, these bearish gaps are in this 5-minute range, so you got to be careful with those kind of bearish gaps because price could just run through it to those highs up there. So, and we'll be above view op, we'll be at view op actually on those. So,
if you have your stop kind of in the middle of the range, then, like, there's so much, but look for.
But like I said, right? I said if price is gonna kind of reverse, usually it reverses at that Asia lows, pre-market lows area, and we took out pre-market lows, and
what could I have done?
I mean, very high probability bounce area too, if you ask me. Like, this isn't like look at just based off of previous data, right? Look at this, right? Was this bounce right here like shocking that we got a bounce there for people that potentially were short in a short setup? Like, you should understand that there's a very high probability we could get a bounce there. Look, just previous history. Pay attention, right? Look what happens when price gets close to that 200 EMA. So look at that bounce right there. Go back further, right? Here we got a little bit of chop. Right? Here it broke through. Chop, chop, chop. Let's see. But you do get times, right? You do get times like right here. Look at that bounce. Bounce right there. Right? We kind of broke through it and we bounced and trended above it.
Billy, talking about the 15-minute orb and how he got wrecked.
Right? Kind of gets a little close to it, starts bouncing. Right? Every time it gets kind of close to it, it rejects it or bounces off it. Here it broke through it, right? So it's not like a perfect, it doesn't always do it, but look what happened right here. Look what happened right here. Look at that bounce. So it's almost like, I don't know if this could be actually like a super profitable strategy, because when it bounces, like look at this bounce right here. It bounced, and then look at that crazy move up. But the problem is like, there are times, see, it works really well where it bounces really well. Here's another bounce. But you do get times where it just chops sideways. So you could backtest this and see where your stop would have to be to give you the highest probability. Like there are chop days, so I don't recommend using this as like an entry point, but you do get bounces, like pretty good bounces. But yeah. So but that was, you know, yeah, you would just be like, it would just be a kind of a guessing thing if you do like. But my point was showing you that, was it really like that shocking that we got a bounce right there? We took out pre-market lows, now we're starting to bounce there. So makes sense, right?
So like for example, for my strategy, I very rarely will take.
Do you use ICT? Not real. No, I don't use any of his strategy. I mean, the only, I mean, it's a really loaded question because I do use like sweeps of highs and lows and imbalances in the market, but I don't really think that's an ICT like concept. I think he popularized it, but it's not like he invented it or something. You know, I don't use any of his strategies. I don't. But I do I mean, some people would consider that ICT, but you know. I pretty much, the main things I use is, actually, I don't even use sweeps of highs and lows. Those are like my targets. I don't use them as like confluences. The only thing I really use that's considered ICT is imbalances in the market, which I don't know if that's really considered an IC. I mean, it is considered ICT concept because he popularized it, but imbalances have always been in the market. It's nothing somebody like invented or something like that. I think it's, yeah, I think it's 18 and up from what, but you could Google that and see what. I left a buy limit on and fell asleep. I'm down 1,200. Now what would you do? I mean, it depends. Are you trading a live account, or are you saying you're down 1,200 on a PropFirm account? Because that makes a huge difference.
10% is a big portion to risk. But are you really risking 10% if you're going off data, allowing yourself, for example, I know I don't take more than 2 losing trades. If I take a 3rd losing trade, I size half.
Oh, it's a PropFirm account?
And then now I'm half size, then I'll take that money back, and then I'll size back up with the new data. So not really me risking, although I could be risking.
I mean, it's
10% per trade.
Technically, you should always have a stop, and if you're in an area where you have no idea what price is going to do, the worst place you could be in as a trader is hoping, right? Worst place you could be is price goes against you, it's at an area you don't have a stop loss in, and it's at an area where you're just hoping for price to go up. You never want to hope for price to go up. You always want to just have a strategy, have a take profit, stop loss. As soon as you're in a mindset of hoping, it just becomes ugly. I mean, personally, since it's a PropFirm account, I mean, depending on where you are in the account, all that factor matters, you know. How much you take per trade, like what's your average risk? Like, are you down 1,200 but you're averaging $100?
I don't really take more than,
you know, that's a little bit, you know. Or do you usually make like $500 a trade and you're down 1,200? Depends on how much you make. Is it worth it for you to just potentially risk blowing the account. If you're fine with blowing the evaluation account or whatever, it also matters if it's a prop firm account or it's a funded account. Like, all that matters. But technically, you should always get out when you're in a spot where you just are hoping, right?
Based on the drawdown I'll allow myself. So, screenshot and look at last tax.
What's wrong with trading Forex? People keep saying it's bad. First of all, there was a lot of, in Forex, with the prop firm space in Forex, there was a lot of, sketchy stuff going on in the prop firm space. So that's why a lot of Forex people came to futures. Second thing, in, Forex has a lot of, I think, slippage. The slippage is pretty bad on Forex. Now, this is from what I've heard. I've never traded I've never went to Forex. But a lot of people from Forex did start trading futures. So, the slippage, the sketchy prop firms, you know, I wouldn't recommend it either. I don't see a reason why you would trade Forex when you could trade futures. I mean, it's like,
have a goal of like I have to make $400 today, or
you could do it. I mean, people trade Forex successfully. It's not like it's a, you know, it's not a sketchy market. It's just a harder market to trade with slippage, and the spreads on Forex I think are way worse than futures, and yeah, just various things that kind of make it not as good as futures.
And you'll end up going to the weekend pissed off because you've blown an account. Like,
I did it, just fell asleep with it on it and plummeted, and I averaged in $100 per trade.
Out of this 5-minute range,
it ain't reliable. No, it's not that it isn't reliable. You can make money with Forex, like, you know, but like the prop firms weren't reliable. There was some sketchy stuff going on with prop firms, and prop firms controlling price and manipulating price and this and that. Like, there was some really sketchy stuff going on with prop firms in the Forex space. But which, the way futures is set up, I don't think it could happen in futures.
5-minute range,
I think you had some prop firms that kind of were their own data provider type of thing going on. For it, like futures, you have prop firms and they use a third party like data provider. So the prop firms have no control over price, right? It's like a third party service that does it.
I need 4 more trades.
Do you swing trade? So with futures, here's the thing. Here's, you got to be careful. Whoever took that trade overnight. Is it because
when it starts trending outside of the 5-minute range?
Do you like Apex? Is it easy to get payouts once you have the rules down? Yeah, you can get payouts as long as you follow the rules. You can get payouts, right? People are getting this whole like thing of like, you know, people aren't getting payouts. I think a lot of people don't get payouts because they break the rules and then they complain that they don't get a payout. You know, you break a rule, keep trading, and you know, and try to take another payout.
So either way, right?
But yeah, I mean, Apex does pay out. It's one of the most reputable prop firms you can go with, right? So,
price could have shot up. Price could have been way up here, and I would.
Why do you prefer futures?
Similar to what I was.
I prefer like the future space with prop firms are way better than Forex. So like you could trade like trading Nasdaq, right? You don't really have slippage. The spreads aren't crazy. Like, it's just a lot easier to trade. It's a lot more. And this is me. This is full transparency. Somebody talking that's never traded Forex, right? That's just what I'm hearing from people. I went from options, from like the stock market trading options to futures, and I kind of never went back. So I am a little bit biased. But there are a decent amount of Forex people that went to futures, so that tells you a lot, right?
And we're below view op. And we're below.
But
like, there's so much bearishness.
Consistency rule, yeah. Consistency rule is big. Be careful with the trailing drawdown rule. But the consistency rule is, yeah, probably one of the most popular rules that people usually break, because people try to go for these crazy trades and like they oversize. You know, they'll be making $200, and then all of a sudden they make like, you know, $4,000 or whatever, or opposite. Or they start out, they try to go for a massive trade in the beginning. They hit a massive trade and then they size down. Like, they'll hit a $4,000 trade because they oversized, and then they'll size down and try to go for $200 days. Like, it's not gonna, you're not gonna get payouts like doing that. They're gonna see what you did and they're gonna deny you.
price could just run through it to those highs up there. So
US 30, 47,000 any minute now, or I could be wrong. Stick with a certain profit amount and stay in that rule. Yeah, exactly. Like me personally, I allow myself with my strategy, I allow myself 6 losing trades before I blow my account, right? Now, you can kind of do it differently based on, like, here's the thing. It all depends on how much money you have. Like, these influencers, here's a secret. These influencers that are, like, you know, taking crazy payouts, meaning, like, you know, they're taking a bunch of payouts. What they're not showing you, what a lot of them are showing you, is how much money they're spending on evaluations. And listen, they can do that because they got a lot of money, right? They buy an evaluation, right? They go hardcore, they pass it in one trade, they get put in a funded account, maybe they oversize, but they continue to be oversized, and they end up getting a pretty big payout. But the amount of times they blow accounts before they get to that payout, like, there are traders who spend like $3,000 to $4,000 a month on reset evaluations because of how aggressively sized they are, right? Not the smartest to do thing for like the average person that's trying to learn how to trade or trying to trade. They're fine with it because they, first of all, they got money to spend, $4,000. But then when they end up getting a payout, they get like a $40,000 payout. So it does work for them, but the average person can't spend $4,000 a month on evaluations, right? So, like, the way I do it is smarter, but it takes a lot longer to get a payout than how they do it, right? But it is smarter because you don't blow a bunch of evaluations. I size down, risking, according to my strategy, I allow myself like 6 losing trades before I blow the account, right? And this is coming from someone who's never blown a funded account. I've blown evaluations, but not funded. And then you also manage your risk. If you go into some drawdown and your data changes, you manage your risk. That's kind of like, you know, how you should be. The best thing to do is really like, is to trade a prop firm account, like a funded account. Trade a funded account the way you would want to trade a live account. So if, hypothetically, if you ever in the future wanted to jump from a funded account to a live account, that jump would be very easy to do because you wouldn't be changing anything. You'd be trading the same way.
Was showing you that. Is it really like that shocking that we got a bounce right there? We took out pre-market lows. Now we're starting to bounce there.
I have to read them right here. Short now on bearish. I mean, it's still pretty. We tried to close back into that range and we failed.
I mean, the only.
So.
I mean.
I see 50K accounts more often because they say those are easiest. So the 50,000, it's not that the 50,000 are the easiest. It's you get the best value for the money you spend, right? For the 50K accounts, the drawdown to profit target ratio, like for Apex, right? The $50,000 accounts with Apex are the most popular because all you have to do is hit a $3,000 profit target, but you get a $2,400 drawdown. So it's almost a 1-to-1, your drawdown to your profit target. And if you look at the other accounts, the drawdown to profit target gets a little bit like more, it's not as easy, right? It's not as good. Versus the 50,000, the $2,400 drawdown to the 3,000 profit target, that's why. It's just a good value for the drawdown size you get and the profit target you have to hit.
I think it's 18 to 9.
And that's the ones I always get. I pretty much, with every prop firm, I get the 50,000. Whether it's Take Profit Trader, whether it's Apex, I get the $50,000 ones. The value for the money in the accounts, I think, in my opinion, they're the best accounts you can get for the value.
Are you trading a live account, or are you saying you're down 1,200 on a prop firm account? That makes a huge difference.
Really? What the?
Oh, it's a prop firm account? I mean,
it's not a sprint, but a marathon. Exactly. That's why most traders fail. They treat it as a sprint. Yeah, I know it's hard because you see TJR, you see all these dudes like balling out of control with Lambos and stuff, and it makes people want to like take it makes them trade it as a casino instead of trading it as a business and really looking at it as a marathon. And that's why me personally, that's why I can go a day, like with my other strategy, not this strategy. With my other strategy, I can go a day, 2 days without taking a trade because I'm patient. If I see a setup, I take it. I would rather be hands off, you know, and take good trades and actually make money long term, right? My goal is to actually become like a great trader. My goal is really to become a great trader. Other traders' goals are not to become great traders. They just want to grow their social media base. They want to be able to, you know, make money off Discord, make money off a course, and they don't have to be good traders. My goal is different. I really do try to learn to become a better trader from this. I take this seriously, right? I don't take this as a casino. I don't take this as like I could trade this. I could do this as more of entertainment, like the S9. No hate to them, but like, right, the S9 futures dudes, right? They do it for entertainment. Like everyone knows they do it for entertainment. They're not doing it to actually get good at trading, right? So there's two different routes in traders. The people who do it for the entertainment aspect of trading and the people who really try to get good at trading and, you know, try to develop their skills and really be patient and it's not as entertaining, right? To be patient. Trading, listen, profitable trading, a lot of times, profitable trading is boring. It is boring. So to be a good trader, sometimes, right, you have to sit there and potentially not take trades. But that's the boring part of waiting for a setup to come to you, right? It's entertaining to take trades left and right and just be always in a trade. The amount of times I scroll through people's lives that are trading and they're always in a freaking position, always. Either you're some genius of the market where you know where every little move is going, or you're just trying to entertain people, which, no hate. If you're trying to entertain people, that's fine, right? Do your thing. I'm not hating on you. But for the people that are watching, understand that there's two different groups of traders. The entertainers and the traders who are actually trying to, you know, develop the skill set of trading. So, are you long? No, I was short. I got out of a short. How many 50K accounts do you have with Apex and how long have you had them without blowing them? I can actually tell you. I've had, I have 10 funded accounts and these other 7 ones that I'm about to pass in like 4 more trades and I'll pass 7 more. So once I pass, I have 10 right now. Once I pass these, I'll have 17 funded accounts. My goal is to get to 30 funded accounts. So Apex allows me 20 accounts. Take Profit Trader allows 5 accounts. I think Tradeify allows 5 accounts. So my goal is to get to 30. Hopefully by the end of the year, not this year, but hopefully sometime next year, I'll have up to 30 accounts. That's my goal. My goal, and for these 7 accounts, right, if I continue trading them with the discipline that I'm using so far, if I continue trading the way I'm trading, I should be able to get, by December, should be able to start getting a $20,000 payout, right? So take a $20,000 in December, take a $20,000 in January, and then, right, then I can go a little more hardcore on passing more evals and getting them funded, right? Because I'll have more, and I want to make I want to make a bank account so where every single thing in trading related goes to that bank account, so that I can actually use that for evals, use that to pass, and kind of try to scale more accounts, get more payouts, get, you know, scale that way. Like trading NASDAQ, right? You don't really have slivers. But here, let me try to see if I can. Let me go to Apex's website real quick. I mean, I've had these accounts. I'm actually kind of curious myself. My funded accounts, how long I've had them for. Stock market trading options to futures, and I kind of never went back. So I am a little bit biased. Let me see. I have the authentication code. But there are a decent amount of Forex people that went to futures, so that tells you a lot, right? And we're below Q-Walk. But,
Consistency rule, yeah. Consistency rule is big.
All right. My accounts.
Trailing drawdown rule. But the
So,
consistency rule is, yeah, probably
where is it?
one of the
Funded
most
accounts,
popular rules that
evals,
people usually
funded,
break.
funded
Because
charts.
people try to go for these crazy trades and like they oversize, you know, they'll be
So
making
one account,
$200, and then all
one
of a
account
sudden
I've
they
had
make, like,
for,
you know, $4,000 or whatever.
where is
Or
it?
opposite,
No, I've had
or
these
they
more.
start
What the
out,
heck?
They try to go for a massive
138 days
they
for
hit a
one
massive
account.
trade and then they size down.
The other accounts are saying
$4,000 trade 'cause they oversized, and then they'll
64
size down and try to
days.
go for $200.
It says 64 days, but it's been longer. It's been,
Payouts like doing that.
it was way longer than 64 days. I think it's just counting the days where I took trades on. I think it's counting the days where I only took trades on because
47,000 any minute
I've had these longer for three, like,
Stick with a
for
circuit
2 months.
that's-
Yeah, I for sure had these way longer for 2 months.
Personally, I allow
So I
myself
think
with
it's
my
only
strategy,
counting the
I allow
days,
myself
64 traded days,
before I
but
blow my account, right?
it's been longer
now,
than
you can
that.
kind of do it differently based on, like, here's the thing. It all depends on how much money you have. Like, these influencers, here's a secret. These influencers that are, like, you know,
Alright.
taking crazy payouts, meaning, like, you know, they're taking a bunch of payouts. What they're not showing you, what a lot of them are showing you, is how much money
Tradeify
they're spending
don't
on
have a value.
valuation.
Do they? I thought they had different
Yeah, because
accounts.
they got a lot
I
of
thought
money,
Tradeify had the they have straight to funded, and then they have ones where you can actually pass the eval. The straight to funded are more expensive.
They pass it in one trade, they get put in a funded
Which I don't
account.
see why, if you're good at trading, I don't see why you would do a straight to funded. I mean, you can to not go through the hassle of passing an eval. I guess you can. It depends. Yeah, it's the 1 minute chart. So far we're still
a month on reset evaluations because of how aggressively sized they
Bro,
are,
why is my
right? Not the smartest to do thing for like the average
Where is-
person that's trying to learn how to
oh,
trade
wait.
or trying. If you're good at trading, I don't see why you would
Alright,
do
never
it
mind.
straight to funded. I mean, you can and not go through the hassle of passing
So yeah, I use Ninja Trader. What confluences do you use? 5 minute opening range is what I use. My main confluence, like what
we're still
I have 2 different accounts for 2 different strategies, right? First strategy I use, both strategies have to do with this 5 minute range. Again, I'll go through it real quick. First strategy, price, wait for price to break out of this range. And then, for example, if it would have broke out of this range and then aggressively pushed back into the range, leaving behind a bullish imbalance, I take an entry off that bullish imbalance to the next area of liquidity, like area high. Usually it's the body candle highs, and that's pretty much that strategy. The other strategy is, for example, something like happened like this, right? To where price breaks out of that 5 minute range and then fails to push back into it aggressively, and I see bullish sentiment, right? I see these bearish gaps start to form below that 5 minute range, showing me that we're very bullish. As long as we stay below this 5 minute range, we're pretty bearish. And right, I'm kind of getting like the fact that it's having trouble pushing back. At this point, I was like, all right, I see this gap right here. I'm gonna take a scalp off that gap. So I just take scalps on these accounts. So I took a scalp right here in the middle of that range. I took a short, and then boom, I took a very quick scalp, and that's it. And that's kind of what I do. So either way for both strategies.
Right, I'm kind of getting like the fact.
But right, 2 different groups of accounts for 2 different strategies. I don't mix strategies with accounts. Right, maybe in the beginning when you're learning, you should only stick to one strategy. But as you get better, you can add more strategies and have different accounts for different strategies.
And that's kind of what I do. So either way.
But this strategy, I don't think, honestly, I've never found one person on TikTok or anybody trading this strategy, right? The first strategy I explained. And I found this strategy by accident, like looking at someone else's strategy, and I realized this strategy, and I was like, holy crap, this actually like, and I started backtesting it, and I was like, bro, this actually works pretty well. And so I've been trading this strategy for a decent amount of time, and it's been working pretty good for me so far. Hopefully it continues working good.
I found this strategy by accident, like looking at someone else's strategy, and I realized this strategy, and I was like, holy crap.
What is the number one rule when it comes to trading?
And I was like, bro, this actually works pretty well.
Number one rule,
So I've been trading
risk
this strategy for
management.
a decent amount
I mean,
of
that's
time.
like the
It's been working
where
pretty good for
number
me
one
so
rule
far.
of trading is
So far. Hopefully it continues
risk
working good.
management. You should always, before you get into a trade, and this will take you a long ways in trading. As long as you follow this one rule, you're already above a majority of, like, a lot of people in trading.
Number one rule
Is right risk management. So you have a strategy. You should always, before you get into a trade,
rule of trading is
you should know where your take profit is and where your stop loss is. So once you get into a trade, you have a plan, you put your take profit, you put your stop loss, and you stick to it, right? Don't cancel your stop loss just because price is coming to your stop loss. You don't cancel it.
risk management. So
That's the worst thing you could do in trading is cancel your stop loss.
before you get
And
into a
then
trade,
another bad thing you could do in trading is to average into losing trades. When you're in a losing trade, you cancel your stop loss, you're in a losing trade, and you start doubling down on a losing trade.
your take profit,
And all you're doing, you could be rewarded sometimes, but all you're doing is doubling down your losses on days where the market does this, right?
That's the worst.
Where we had this massive sell-off. If you started averaging into a loser, you blew your account.
Another bad thing you can do in trading is to
So,
average into losing trades.
have a plan and stick to that plan.
Cancel your stop loss. You're in a losing trade and you start doubling down.
Risk to reward. So risk to reward all depends on strategy too, right? I personally go typically for a 1-to-1 risk to reward, right? So I don't typically try. If the market gives me, I take what the market gives me. I'm not somebody who tries to go for a 1-to-2 every single time. Like, if the market gives me a 1-to-2 risk to reward, I'll take it. But if the market doesn't give me that, if the market, all I could see it giving me is a 1-to-1, I'm gonna take that 1-to-1, right? Those small 1-to-1 high probability trades do add up, right? They add up over time as long as you're disciplined with them. So
I take what the market gives me.
I take what the market gives me. I don't necessarily have a 1-to-1. There are times where even I have a little bit of a negative risk to reward because I'm taking what the market gives me.
But if the market doesn't give me that, if the market, all I could see it giving me is a
Don't set
1-to-1,
stop. No, I'm saying
that 1-to-1.
the worst thing you could do is don't set a stop loss. You should always have a stop loss. No matter what, have a stop
Over
loss.
time, as long as you're disciplined with them. So
Stop loss is like the most crucial part to your trading because that's what protects your account. That's your defense. If you don't have that, you're done. There's no,
don't set stop. No, I'm saying
is a bad strat? No, 1-to-2 is not a bad strategy as long as the key to it is you have to backtest it with the strategy you're using, right? If you're backtesting it and that strategy is giving you constant 1-to-2s, 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 that's fine, right? But don't take a 1-to-2 just because you want to take a 1-to-2. Like, some people take, like, they enter into a trade and they put their stop losses at areas because they want to have a 1-to-2. Like, I'm entering here, I want a 1-to-2. And they're disregarding whatever the market's telling them, right? I don't necessarily focus too much on risk to reward. I focus on what the market gives me. So
that's fine, right? But don't take a 1-to-2 just because you want.
But it's not necessarily bad, but you should understand typically the way it works is with risk to reward, right? Obviously, a 1-to-1 risk to reward typically has a higher win rate. The more risk to reward you want, like a 1-to-2, a 1-to-3, a 1-to-4, a 1-to-5, typically the higher the risk to reward is, the lower the win rate. So that's why you do have people that are profitable with a 10% win rate. There are people that are profitable with a 10% win rate. Why? Because they take a lot of losing trades in a row. They could take like 20 to 30 losing trades in a row, right? If they have like a 1-to-10 risk to reward. So they're always losing, always losing. They seem like they're losing every single trade, but that one trade that they get, that they make that 1-to-10 finally, right? They make back a bunch of money and more. So just understand that the higher the risk to reward, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, your win rate is going to be lower. Like, Nobody trades a 1 to 10 risk to reward and has a 90% win rate. That doesn't happen. The people with 90% win rates typically trade like a 1 to 1, typically around there. I'm not saying it's not possible, but unless you're some genius trader who's super disciplined and only taking the best setups of all time, and you wait, 2 months for one setup, and you and you take but typically, there's a direct correlation between win rate and risk to reward. Typically trade like a 1 to 1, typically around there. But don't focus on that. Focus on what the market's giving you, according to your strategy, obviously. Been burned so many times not having a stop loss and buying into losing trade. Yeah, that's the two biggest mistakes in trading. The two detrimental mistakes is not having a stop loss and averaging into losing trades. The two things you should never do. But don't focus on that. Focus on what the market's giving you. Now, averaging into winning trades, that's a different deal, right? But averaging into losing trades, you're just, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. If the market's telling you you're wrong, why are you doubling down? And you're doubling down in your loss. Why? Because your ego is getting in the way and you don't want to accept the loss. Yeah, better to make the market play out. And this is why it's important to watch price action. Watch price action every single day, right? When you watch price action, you see what price does and why it does it. Why is price rejecting there? Why did price bounce right there? Oh, there's a pivot point. Price bounce right there. Why did price reject right there? Oh, it's the 200. It's the 200 EMA. All right, makes sense, right? Oh, what else did it do? All right, it didn't tap this gap. There's that 5-minute range. It pushed into the 5-minute range just a little bit, failed to kind of get any kind of bullish sentiment back into this 5-minute range. So now we're going lower, right? Try to figure out why price is doing. Oh, it took out these highs and we had a massive sell-off. And then it went back up, right? Now it formed this bullish imbalance right there. Oh, it came back down, kind of tapped into that bullish imbalance right there, and we shot back up. Figure out why price is doing what it's doing. And then you can, trade price action and not have to trade off of your emotions. How do you set a stop loss, or how to know to set a stop loss? Well, you set a stop loss based on your strategy, right? So typically I like to set stop losses below invalidation points for hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, to the person who went short. Maybe somebody went short right here. They saw this massive red candle and they went short for these lows down here. So obviously the best area for a stop loss would be these highs. If price ends up coming back up and breaking those highs, probably shouldn't be in a trade. So you should have your stop loss at areas of invalidation in the market, right? Don't be oversized and then have your stop loss at just a random area, because that's the risk to reward you want, because you're oversized. That's it. Always have a plan, have your stop loss, have your take profit, and then you look to how much contracts you should take in accordance to how much risk you want to take for that trade, right? Areas of invalidation in the market, right? Don't be oversized and then have your stop loss at just a random area. But that's the risk to reward you want, because you're oversized. That's it. Always. Ever since last Friday, I just decided to stop trading on Fridays. Just pure. Listen. That's good. That's a good strategy. A lot of traders I've known, a lot of traders do that. That's an important part of keeping track of your data, right? Keeping track of your data and understanding that, oh crap, every single freaking Friday I'm taking a loss. For the past 2 months, every Friday, or for the past month, every single Friday, I took a loss. Your data tells you maybe you should freaking stop trading on Fridays, right? But if you're not keeping track of your data, if you're not paying attention to what's going on, you have no idea what's going on. You could be taking losses on days where you shouldn't be trading, right? And it's something that that little minor shift in your trading can improve your trading by a decent amount. Your data tells you maybe you should freaking stop. I'm here to rage bait, right? Hey, I'm all for the rage bait. I don't. If you're not paying attention to what's going on, you have no idea what's going on. You could be. I find it. I think it's hilarious. So. Shouldn't be trading, right? And How many pips? I mean, I don't know. That's 4x. I don't go by pips. I go by points.
Improve your trading by a decent amount.
4 months. What's your strat here? Are you waiting to sell? So for my 2 strategies, the first strategy, there was no setup. The second strategy, there was a setup, so I took a quick scalp. It was trending below this, so we were pretty bearish as long as we were showing pretty bearish price action. So I took a scalp off this imbalance right there. We were below that 5-minute opening range, so I took a scalp, quick scalp. And that's pretty much it. Now we're kind of shifting structure. You could see, right? Now these old resistance levels turning into new support levels. We're kind of shifting structure. If we do get a massive green candle back up into this range, that's a pretty green flag for me. Now, probably won't take the trade because it's 11 o'clock already, so I wouldn't take the trade. But you know, that's a sign of bullish price action if we do get a bullish imbalance into this range.
Now these old resistance levels turning into new
Pips are
support
for
levels.
gay people over.
We're kind of shifting structure. If we do get a massive green candle back up into this
It's the
range,
4x.
that's a pretty
4x. Yeah, we use points in futures.
Because it's 11 o'clock already, so
Point system. So every box, right? I have it set to every box is 10 points, and I can quickly calculate risk based on these little boxes right here. Every box with 1 micro is 20 bucks. With 1 mini is $200 of risk. It's the 4x. 4x. Yeah, we use points in futures. Yeah, journaling, man. People sleep on journaling. People really do sleep on it. Like,
I have it set to every box is 10 points.
it's like not journaling, and I'm not necessarily saying you have to sit there and like journal write down every single day and like, but like keep track of the days, keep track of what's going on, you know, keep track of what days you're losing, keep track of just how many losing trades are you taking in a row when you're going on a losing streak. All that makes a difference in your trading. And minor shifts in your trading, minor adjustments can equal a lot profits, right? For example, the person I was saying that stop trading on Fridays, right? Because you always lose money on Fridays. So imagine how much more money you're potentially making in the end of the month by just not trading on a certain day.
When you're going on a losing streak, all that makes a difference in your trading.
How was today? Today was good.
Minor shifts in your trading.
Today was good. Took a scalp off this short. For the first strategy, didn't get a setup. For the second strategy, got a setup. Took a short, quick scalp. For the second group of accounts, the second strategy, like I said, told people I'm gonna be quickly scalping those accounts. I had these accounts for a long time, so I'm kind of like trying to. They're in some drawdown from tariff news, so I've had these accounts for a long time, so trying to get out of the drawdown on those accounts. So I'm just gonna be scalping them.
Got a setup, took a short, quick scalp. For the second group of accounts, the second strategy, like I said, told people I'm gonna be quickly scalping those accounts. I had these accounts for a long time, so I'm kind of like trying to. They're in some drawdown.
I keep hearing you say scalping. What do you mean by that? I mean, when I say scalp.
So I'm just gonna be scalping them.
So scalping is like taking quick moves, right? Taking like 20, 30, 40 point moves. I mean, technically my first strategy is a scalp too. I'm technically a scalper. But my first scalp is like, my first strategy, I go for like 60 to like 80 points, right? So I actually go for a bigger move. On the second account, it's more of a hyper scalp where I'm taking like 20 point profits, right? 20 point, 30 point, 40 point profits. So I'm taking very quick profits.
I mean, technically my first.
So a scalp is like when you're buying and selling within like 5 minutes, it's considered like a scalp.
My first strategy, I go for like 60 to like 80 points, right?
So you're pretty much getting in and out of the market very fast.
It's more of a hyper scalp.
That's why it's called scalp. You're quickly like scalping it.
Right? 20 point, 30 point, 40 point profits. So I'm taking very quick profits. So a scalp
profitable
is like
day then? Yeah, it's a profitable day.
Like 5 minutes.
First set of accounts, first set of accounts are flat because I didn't get a setup. Second accounts made some money off this short right there. So yeah, it's a green day. It's been a green week. I don't think I've took it. Yeah, I didn't take one losing trade this week. So that is the benefit of being patient, right? That's what patience gets you. is not having a losing day all week, right? I had a really good day this week. This week, I on my first setup, the first setup I look for, I had a really good trade this week. So
it's been a green week. I don't think I took it.
I had a good week for these accounts and a good week for these accounts too. But that's what patience gets you. That's what sitting on your hands and waiting for price to come to you gets you.
Not having a losing day all week.
Are you taking trades at the moment, bro, or just teaching? I mean, I'm waiting. As of now, I'm probably not going to take any more setups. I'm just answering. I already took one trade today. First setup didn't happen. Second setup took it. I mean, at this point, I'm not planning to take a trade. Yeah, I'm not planning to. Just because it's 11 o'clock. It's already past 11, so typically momentum starts to die down. I'm just answering questions at this point.
I'm probably not going to take any more setups.
If something amazing set itself up where I was just like, oh my god, this is obviously a good trade, then maybe I'd probably take it, but
yeah, I'm not planning to, just because it's 11 o'clock.
Any suggestions to journal trades on? You could do a manual. It depends on your, financial situation. You can manually, journal your trades. I've done both ways. I've manually journaled my trades where it's like you kind of have bullet points or whatever, in like a journal or something, and like say Monday was a good day, followed my plan, did this, did that, kind of like so you would know. You can go back and see any kind of like similarities on Mondays or this. So you can do the manual journaling, or if you want a good journaling software is TradeZella. So TradeZella is a really good journaling software. If look at the price and see if it's worth it for you, and it it automatically journals your trades. You can go back in time in history and you can see the trade you actually took on a chart, right? It shows you that execution on an actual chart. It shows you a calendar of your green days, how much you made, and it gets into very minute details on your trades. So TradeZella is a really good one. I've used TradeZella and it is good. I don't use it anymore. Obviously, I don't use it anymore because I trade live. So my YouTube, my TikTok, that's pretty much my journal, right? I could just go back into my videos and see my trades.
It gets into very minute details on your trades. So
why use own cash? I don't think you should use your own cash. I don't think there's a reason, especially if you're a good trader right now. Like if you genuinely know what you're doing and have the right discipline and have a strategy, I don't see a reason. I mean, the benefit of trading your own cash in a live account is you can take, you could take payouts every day, technically. I mean, there's a lot more leniency, a lot more freedom, but less rules. But if you really are good at trading and like the amount you could scale these accounts on, where you could get a copy trader and you can trade Apex, you could trade this, and like you have a potential of making over $100,000 a month if you're copy trading and you know what you're doing. Like that is a possibility in these prop firm spaces. That's how people are getting hundreds of thousands in payouts. I just saw recently somebody got a $400,000 payout off Apex. Why? Because they're copy trading. That's why when you have a strategy that you become confident in and you can really scale that. So that's why I don't see a reason to use your own live account when you have prop firms right now, and you can really milk these prop firms and you can really get payouts from them. And you can copy trade Apex and Tradeify and this and that. You can have multiple prop firms and so there's just not a reason to. And you have to, in a live account, you have to put up a lot of money in a live account, which I don't see a reason of doing that.
That's why I don't see a reason to use your own live account when you have prop firms right now, and you can really milk these prop firms and you can really get payouts from them.
That's what I thought. I never tried funded though. I'm kind of scared about the rules and payouts. I mean, you could try.
There's just not a reason to.
You could try it if you're trading. If you're somebody who's actually if you're good at trading and you're trading an actual live account, I mean, what you could do is get a copy trader. Have your actual live account that you're trading. If you're trading a live account and you're successful in it, have a live account. Get a Replicanto. Get a copy trader.
I mean, you could.
And then get evaluation accounts and then add them and then just trade your live account and then copy trade evaluation accounts. So you're building up more accounts for PropFirm space. But it is the one rule. Like, you have to be careful with trailing drawdown and like the what is it called? Consistency rule. So those are kind of two rules. You do have to follow some rules, but just kind of see the rules you have to follow and see if you can actually, like, you know, the rules aren't hard to follow, right? The rules are actually like rules that I think you should be even doing in a live account. You know, it's like the only kind of thing that sucks is the trailing drawdown rule, right? If you're somebody who tries to go for like higher, like 1 to 2, 1 to 3, you leave runners and this and that. That trailing drawdown can mess you up if you're not taking profits. That's the only thing, but
the rules aren't hard to follow, right? The rules are actually like rules that I think you should be even doing in a lot.
How about TopStep? I've never used TopStep because they have their own platform or whatever, so I just don't want to switch to their thing. I already use what I use, so I've never tried them. But they're a reputable prop firm. What are a couple prop firms that I should try then? Kind of look at, so depending on how you trade and your strategy, right? Look at the different rules. Every prop firm has like a little bit different rules. They all have similar rules, but there are prop firms that don't have trailing drawdown, right? That have end of day drawdown. But like some popular prop firms are Apex, TopStep's a popular one, Tradeify is a popular one, Take Profit Trader is a popular one. Right now, I personally use Apex and Take Profit Trader. Those are the only two I use, but there are a handful of other popular ones. And you'll see kind of like, you know, people have affiliate links to the popular ones, and just make sure don't go with a no-name prop firm like that nobody uses, because then at that point, if you're going with like a prop firm nobody uses, you're risking passing, getting funded, and then you request a payout and they don't want to pay you out. So you're risking that. But as long as you stick to like the popular prop firms, I think you should be pretty good. Yeah, and if you could use my code, I would appreciate that.
Just make sure don't go with
I don't sell a course, you know, I don't do any of, you know, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. So, but if you are gonna buy a like an Apex or Take Profit Trader account, I do appreciate if you know. If not, if you don't want to, that's fine too. No hate.
Yeah, and if you could use my code, I would appreciate that.
But yeah, using a copy trader is not hard. If you use like, I use NinjaTrader. Replicanto, it is a paid copy trader where you have to buy it, but you buy it one time. It's like a $200 thing. You buy it one time and you have it it's a lifetime thing. So you have it forever. And then they give you a code, you're able to quickly add it on to your NinjaTrader, and it's boom. And you can literally, I go in the morning, there's like little bubbles, and I just click every account. You have your main account, and you click every account you want copy traded, and then you take your trade on main account, and it opens that same trade up across multiple accounts that you copy trading on. No, I don't trade Forex. I've never traded. That's the one market I've never traded. I've traded, you know, stock market, obviously futures market, crypto market, except Forex. I don't plan to go to. I don't see a reason to. I don't see a reason to change something that's working.
No, I don't trade Forex. I've never traded.
But yeah, all right. I'm gonna.
That's the one market I've never traded.
If you have any more questions before we roll into the weekend, I'm gonna be hopping off at like 11:30. So like in 9 minutes, I'm gonna be hopping off. Price is pushing up, but it's not really showing any bullishness, right? Very little momentum to the upside. Not gonna leave behind any imbalances so far. Oh, what's the reason behind? One of the main reasons is just like futures is working for me, so why would I change something that's working, right? A second reason is, from what I hear about Forex, right? A lot of sketchy prop firms. Second thing is the spreads on Forex. Spreads are a lot higher on Forex. You get worse like slippage. Like it's not as good of a market as like futures market.
Second reason is
Like NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ moves good, very tight spreads. Like, it just has good volume, good movement every single day. So,
second thing is
and then when you get into a currency or a pair or whatever that has very wide spreads, it hurts you. It hurts you, especially if you're trying to scalp. It could hurt you. So,
good of a market as
and for those of you who don't know what spread is the difference between the bid and the ask, right? So like NASDAQ, ES, right? There's so much volume that the spreads are very tight. So you can get good fills on NASDAQ and ES. But when you have a pair where the bid and the ask are so far apart, that difference, that gap between them is called the spread. And so when you're trying to get filled, you can get filled into a position and then be immediately in drawdown, right? So because of that spread.
NASDAQ, ES, right? There's so much volume that the spreads are very tight.
All right, we're actually getting a bullish
NASDAQ and ES.
a bullish gap.
When you have a pair where the bid and the ask are so far apart, that difference, that gap between them is called the spread. And so when you're trying to get filled, you can get filled into a position
Like,
and then be immediately
it's just something like
right?
kind of a setup for my first strategy, but I'm not going to take it because it's almost 11:30. I just don't want to be stuck in a sideways move.
All right, we're actually getting a bullish
I remember taking that one trade I took. It was my setup. It was like after 11 o'clock. I took the trade, and it just went sideways for the rest. Like, I was in that trade for a while, and then just ended up getting out of it break even. Because it wasn't going. It wasn't moving. That's the problem with trading after 11 o'clock, is price doesn't have the movement that you want it to have, right? Like, if I wanted to go long right now for these highs, which I don't think it's a bad... it's a pretty good setup. It's to go long for those highs, but I'm risking getting caught in sideways movement. Like, it'll push up a little bit, drop back down, kind of trade sideways, and then I find myself sitting in a trade for like an hour. Versus in the morning when you get that same setup, a lot of times it goes pretty quickly to your target because you're getting the volume.
I don't think it's a bad.
I appreciate you.
Pretty good setup.
I appreciate the follow. Thank you. Any way I could help. I'm not somebody. I don't want you to. I'm not one of the only people who tell you don't buy a course. Don't pay for some, especially if you're learning and trading. If you're just learning out, please save your money. Don't spend money on a course. Don't spend money on any Discord or anything. There's so much free content on YouTube and like people doing live streams. There's free content, right? I try to share as much as I can, as much as I know, what I know. And just like between all the free content on YouTube and like, I mean, there's no reason to buy someone's, course. This isn't a race. Like, become obsessed with trading. Learn about it. Learn the psychology, risk management. Like, just become obsessed with it. Watch the market and how it moves. How it takes out a low, how it fills imbalances. Like,
what I know, and just like between all the free content on YouTube and like.
Could you please repeat the copyright information as she spoke about? What? Copyright information?
Learn about it.
I'm not sure what I'm not sure what you mean. Thoughts on meme coin? No, I don't. That's a crazy like. Meme coins are just like it's a casino. It's like a gamble. It's not. I mean, maybe some people have strategies. It's too much of a.
Could you please repeat the copyright information?
It's too much of a rug pull. There's too much rug pulls in meme coins. Like, you can have a strategy in meme coins, and then some of you get rug pulled, and it doesn't matter. You lose all your money. So it's like, I try to trade a market like NASDAQ. Like, there's not going to be any rug pulls. There's not going to be any BS. Versus meme coins, there's a lot of BS in meme coins. Rug pulls and all sorts of. I don't recommend it at all.
It's too much of a rug pull. There's too much rug pulls in meme coins. Like, you can have a strategy in meme coins, and then some of you get rug pulled.
Oh, copy trade. Oh, you said copyright. I'm like, what? Copy trade information. I personally, I can't speak about other copy traders. I use Replicanto because it's just one of the most popular. You do have to pay for it. It's like $200, but it's for a lifetime of it. You pay $200 and you get it for your whole life. So I've been using it. It's one of the most popular. It works very well. I have not had any issues with it at all, so I love it. There are free copy traders, but I mean, you can try it out. if you want.
It's one of the most popular. You
But
have to pay for it. It's like
I mean, I've heard of
$2
people
like
having
for a
problems
lifetime
with other copy
of it.
traders. So I just
So
always,
then you get it for
I always go with the most
life.
popular one, so I don't have to go through all that
I've
crap.
been using it. It's one of the most popular. It works very well. I have not had any issues with it at all.
Oh, the spelling of it? Oh, it's
There are free copy
the
traders,
the
but
spelling. The one I use is called. I'll type it in right now in the chat. Hold on.
if you want. But I mean, I've heard of people having problems with other copy traders, so I always go with the most popular one, so I don't have to go through all that crap.
So that's the one I use.
Oh, it's the spelling. The one I use is called. I'll type it in right now in the chat. Hold on.
Why isn't it showing up?
So that.
Wait, can y'all see it? What
that's
the
the
hell?
one I use.
I typed it in. It didn't show up. Wait, y'all, did y'all? Oh, y'all see it? Why doesn't it show that? All right. I'm looking at the.
Why isn't it showing up?
I'm looking at the chat, and it's not showing me that. You. All right.
Wait, can y'all see it?
So that's the one I use. So you can either, pay for. You can either buy. It's a lifetime thing. You pay for it once for the whole lifetime. Oh, how do you clip it?
Wait, y'all
Hold
show.
on.
Oh, y'all see it? Why doesn't it show that? I'm looking at the. I'm looking at the chat, and it's not showing me that. All right. So that's the one I use. So you can either, pay for. You can either.
I'll have to
buy- it's a
figure that out.
lifetime thing.
I don't know how
You
to
pay for it once
pin it or
for the
whatever.
whole lifetime. Oh, how do you clip it?
Yeah, no problem. And I use it for, obviously, I use NinjaTrader. So whatever platform you use, just make sure it works for that platform and you could use it. Because you don't want to buy something and it doesn't work. I'm pretty sure, I know it works for NinjaTrader. Just make sure if you use like the other platforms, make sure it works with those platforms. Yeah, no problem.
And I use it for, obviously, I use.
Thanks for being
NinjaTrader.
transparent. Yeah, no problem.
Whatever platform.
Yeah,
you
last
use,
thing I
make
want,
sure
I
it
really
works
like,
for the platform. You
I'm somebody, I don't want people to waste money. I really don't. That's why I would feel bad. Like, now, like, I know I talk crap about like courses and like discords and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think they're bad, right? I don't think they're bad. I just think most people that do courses and discords aren't qualified to do courses and discords. I think in order for you to have like a Discord or a course, I think you need like a big proven track record. Like if you can show me where you have just stacks of payouts and like you have provable payouts from different prop firms, you've taken out over $100,000, you've taken multiple payouts, you have a stack of payouts, then by all means do a course, do a Discord. You've proven yourself that you can teach people. But like, if you haven't proven to be a good trader, why are you starting a Discord? Why are you starting a course? Like, in my opinion, there should be more regulation on that stuff because you're getting this industry is getting too flooded with people starting courses and Discords who have no idea what they're doing. They're not profitable. And they're just screwing over a lot of people because a lot of people are paying for courses and Discords and not learning anything. And it's just like throwing away money. Like, I don't know. That's my take on it. I'm not saying that courses and Discords are bad, right? I'm saying that there's too many people doing it that shouldn't be doing it.
Who have no idea what they're doing.
The barrier to entry is just, too low. Yeah, this would have been like, technically for my strategy, this would have been the entry right there. But like I said, see, this is like, if I would have took an entry right there off this gap, I would have got filled on this leg down.
I'm not saying that course.
But you see what the problem is we're going sideways. So even though I would have got filled, it would just be trending at break even.
The barrier to entry is just, too low.
I mean, it could rip. This could be actually a good setup. We're above, I mean, it looks good, right? We're above VWAP, right? We're kind of holding this as support now.
I would have got filled on this leg down. But you see what the
To pin your comment, you have to,
even though I would have got.
You have to have a moderator, and you can have them pin your. Oh, you can't pin your own comment.
I mean, it could rip. This could be actually a good setup. We're above. I mean, it looks good, right? We're above VWAP, right? We're kind of holding this as support now.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it's priming up. We're at VWAP. We're literally right above VWAP, so we're pretty bullish right now. We're back into this 5-minute range, right? And you can see previous price action, higher, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, potentially higher low. Not just quite yet, but right. You can see bullish price action. So if we do break above this high, I think we could. I mean,
so we're pretty bullish right now.
Yeah, if we break above that high, we can. I mean, we can go up to this 5-minute high right there.
Price action, higher, right? Higher.
So
higher low.
But you know, that's why I wouldn't take that trade because I'm not. I don't want to get stuck in a trade for a whole hour. There's not enough volume right now or momentum for it to.
I think we could.
So it's 11:30.
Yeah, if we break above that high.
Yeah, I got a lot to do today. Yeah. What are those blue indicators? They're not indicators. Those two blue lines are the 5-minute range. So if you go on the 5-minute chart, so it's 11:30. Where is it? Am I tripping? Hold on.
What are those blue indicators? They're not indicators.
Where is it? Oh, it's right there. I'm like, where's the candle? So, yeah, see this 935 candle right there. So that first 5 minutes of market open is that's the high of the first 5 minutes, and that's the low of the first 5 minutes. So every day you'll see me mark out the first 5-minute opening range, and I take trades based off of that range, right? You can kind of see the bottom of the range, how well it works, right? We're trending below it. We're pretty bearish. As soon as we get back into this range, we're kind of shifting bullish.
That first 5 minutes of market open is that's the high.
Broker I use is Ninja Trader.
First 5 minutes. So every day you'll see me mark out the first 5-minute opening range, and I take trades based off of that range. You can kind of see
again. You just got to find what you sent in the chat. Tap and hold on your comment and press. Yeah, I did that. It didn't do it.
We're kind of shifting bullish.
I held it, and the only thing was.
Broker I use is Ninja Trader.
Nice. Now I can't find the comment. Oh, whatever. I held it and I didn't see a pin. I'll try to see. I'll try to Google it and see if I can do the old googly.
Yeah, I did that. It didn't do it. I held it and the only thing was.
But yeah, I use Ninja Trader. So. Market makers are calling.
I held it and I didn't see it.
They're probably trying to warn me about the rip coming up.
I'll try to Google it and see if I can.
See, this is not spurting. Like, this was a good setup, but man, I don't want to be stuck in it. I have things to do. I don't want to get stuck in a trade.
But yeah, I use Ninja Trader. So.
And like, that's where I go back to your data, right? My data after 11 o'clock has not been really like. Although you do get setups, they suck. They're not. You don't get enough movement off them.
Like, this is a good setup,
all right.
But man, I don't want to be.
So
things to do. I don't want to get stuck in a trade. And like, that's where I go back to.
So yeah.
Your data, right? My data after 11 o'clock has not been really.
How are you closing out? Very, very good week. Closing out the week, very good.
They suck.
For both accounts. I mean, I had a really good trade on my other accounts.
So.
But yeah, closing out the week, green week. So next week, I'm going to be trading that the competition. So.
How are you closing out?
I'm gonna be very risky on that account.
Very good.
I'm gonna be very patient. I'm gonna be patient and very risky at the same time. So I'm gonna try to. I'm going for that $10,000 first place. So
Yeah, closing out the week.
I'm telling you,
next week.
as long as I stay disciplined,
I'm gonna be trading.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's anything can go.
So,
but I'm going for that 10K. I need that. I want that money.
On that account, I'm gonna be very patient. I'm gonna be patient.
So yeah, so next week I'm gonna be trading those comp accounts. That comp account. I'm not gonna be trading these accounts. I'm gonna put these on hold until after next week. After I'm done trading those accounts, I'll go back to finishing up these accounts.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's anything can go.
But yeah, so that's that.
I'm going for that.
I'll see you guys on Monday. So I'll be back here Monday at 9:30. So y'all have a good weekend. Don't overtrade. Do some back testing. Watch some videos about psychology. Jesse Livermore, the GOAT of trading. Watch some of his videos. Spits a lot of game. So, but yeah, I'll see you guys Monday. Peace out. Have a good weekend.
On Monday. So I'll be back here Monday